Welcome back, guys, to the Late Late Show. And for this afternoon, I'll be your host, Jed Hadlock. For this afternoon, we have a special guest who comes all the way from Czechoslovakia. This guest has influenced millions of people all over the world, turning their faith towards Christ. Everyone, please welcome our special guest, Trevor Noah Oy. Hello, Trevor. Welcome to the Late Late Show.
Glad to be here.
Okay, so how are you? How's life?
In total, I'm good.
Okay, so just tell me that you're still aged 14. How is it like being big, or how did you become this famous?
Well, it started off as I preached in my neighborhood. I was talking about God and stuff in my neighborhood, and it was fun, and people seemed to like it.
And then you like suddenly wanted to travel around the world, like preaching to people or that.
Well, some of my preachings went viral, and people wanted me to go to their place, and they sponsored me, so it's okay.
That's good. So let's dive into the topic. Do you have any evidence that proves God is real?
Well, throughout history, there are many religions that believe that God existed. There were the Greeks. Oh, the Greeks believe in more than one God. Usually the Romans believe in more than one God. Well, I believe that there's only one God. The Holy Trinity. Like the Father, God, the Son, the Holy Spirit. Yeah. Well, for your question, if I have any evidence to support that God exists, well, I believe that Jesus Christ was God.
How?
I've actually done my research on this. There are other books that talk about Christ, that he really existed. Well, one is Cornelius Tacitus. He wrote the book Annals. He was a Roman senator, consul, and governor of the Roman province of Anatolia. Anatolia is modern day Greece, not Greece, Turkey. He was one of Rome's greatest historians. Well, I'll quote something from the book. A class hated for their abominations called Christians by the populace. He goes on to explain that Christos, or Christ, from whom the name had its origin, the name of Christians, suffered the extreme penalty of crucifixion during the reign of Tiberius at the hand of one of our procurators. His name was Pontius Pilate. And a most mischievous superstition, thus checked for the moment again, broke out not only in Judea, the first source of the evil, but even in Rome. Well, that's one book only. There's actually another book that support in the claim that Christ existed. Do you know Joseph of Arimathea?
Yeah, the one that offered his body, offered his
No.
tomb.
Yes,
his body.
this tomb.
Yeah.
Tomb. Well, he also wrote a book, I think, or a letter, and
What book is it?
it's called Iniquities.
Iniquities.
Yes. And from the book it says, now there was about this time Jesus, a wise man, if it be lawful to call him a man, for he was a doer of wonderful works, a teacher of such men as received the truths with pleasure.
Amen.
He drew over to him both many of the Jews and many of the Gentiles. He was a Christ. And when Pilate, at the suggestion of the principal men among us, had condemned him to the cross, those that loved him at the first did not forsake him, for he appeared to them alive again the third day, as the divine prophets had foretold these and 10,000s other wonderful things concerning him. And the tribe of Christians, so named after him, are not extinct at this day. That is from his book, Iniquities, Book 18, Chapter 3, Section 3. Well, that kind of supports the claim that Jesus Christ really did exist in this world. But we have to prove that Christ was actually God. Well, there's actually a claim. He said that he himself was God. He either was telling the truth or was lying, or no, his claim was false. He's either God or not. Well, let's point towards the if it was not. He either knew he was lying or he didn't do it intentionally. Well, so let's say he intended it to be false. That meant he was a liar. Which meant that his teachings were, he didn't follow his own teachings. He said to be honest, to be humble, but he wasn't, because he lied that he was God. Then, but if you think about it, he became a liar and a hypocrite. But that led him to his death on the cross, right? So, if Jesus taught like the way he did, he taught people to do good things and to support that he was God, or claiming that he was God, and for people to follow him, right? He told people that they should follow him because he was God. Well, that meant he was a demon, because he was deliberately trying to deceive them. And if he were not God, then it would point the other way of God. So he's deceiving them.
So you're saying that Jesus Christ was evil like that?
Yes, if he was lying.
If he was lying.
Yeah. And he was lying to the point where he dies for his lies. And why would anyone do that, right? So it's pointless. So that kind of makes him not really a liar. If you see what he has done for people. Next, the second scenario, he didn't know he was lying that when he said that he was God. He kept preaching to people saying, I am God. But he believes that. But that meant he was a lunatic. Because he wasn't God, right?
Yeah.
These things are for if God is false, or if his claims of being God is false. So he was crazy. But if you think about it, he healed many people by saying, so, like, he healed people and he didn't act lunatic.
Yeah.
His teachings were very good, right? And then, wait. Well, where was I?
You're talking about his teachings.
Oh yeah, his teachings were very good, and up to this day, there are people from like other colleges that use his teachings to heal lunatic people.
Really?
Yes. It was in the California University.
Like they use his teachings to heal people.
All he has to do is quote from what Jesus said to those people, and they will become better. So a lunatic person wouldn't be able to do that. Jesus didn't act lunatic. He was just he was wise, right?
Very, very.
He knew what he was doing. So that meant he wasn't lunatic. So, okay, for the third scenario, he actually was God. Well, it's proof that he wasn't a liar. Because what kind of person would lie for him to die at the end? Like go all devote all his energy and
Just die at the end.
just to die. Yeah. Next was not a lunatic. That we cleared that up. So the only last scenario is that what his claims were, his claims as God, as being God, is true, right? So that meant that he was actually the Christ, Son of God, as he claimed. Well, there were some Jews that asked, some Jews that were asked the question, was he a liar? They answered no. Was he a lunatic? They answered no. And was he God? They answered no. But you can't, he has to be one of the three. Because it wouldn't make sense that he was just a great teacher.
Yeah.
He was either a liar, a lunatic, or a god. Or like he claimed to be. So, we already put out that he was not a liar, he was not a lunatic, so he had to be God. Like all evidence point toward him being God. Yeah. So, it's that's kind of the evidence already that God existed. Because first, we proved that Christ existed.
Yeah.
Next, we proved that Christ was God. Therefore, God exists. Since Jesus already existed in this earth.
So you're saying that through Jesus, God exists.
Yes, basically. That's about it. That's evidence that Christ, God exists. That's it.
Okay. So thank you, Mr. Trevor Noah.
Yeah.
And that's it for the Late Late Show this afternoon. This is your host, Jed Hadlock, signing out.